Bonjour, Kekeenamawkayo. I'm the Technology and Performance Measurement Lead at Keynote. And I just want to talk to you very briefly about a video that we are going to be filming during this conference. So, as we were planning the conference, I realized that it had a really long history. Up until 1989, Department of Indian Affairs, Northern Development, was organizing a conference like this. And in 1989, it organized the last one. And in fact, I realized it was my sister, Eva Orzechowska, who organized that one. And some of you who are here, who have been around in education a long time, know her too. Then with the local control of local education, those conferences ended. And I was told that Martha Kakapidam, who was the head of Windigo Education Authority, said, we need to keep having these conferences. And so that's how they continued. And the first person to organize those non-Department of Indian Affairs conferences was Carol Terry. And she organized it for quite a few times after that. So we have now contracted a filmmaker, Tyler Anjakaneb, he's right there on the floor, to create a video documentary. And through this video documentary, we want to recognize people who have played key roles in shaping district education over the several decades, as well as include voices of people whose involvement is more recent. The video documentary will be including highlights from this conference. It seemed a great opportunity to have a lot of people's voices contribute to it. And you will see Tyler, who you probably don't see right now because he's crouched down there, and Migwen, who is over there, and Brent, who is over there. They'll be coming in and out, recording some sessions and activities.
On behalf of the chiefs from the communities who are the corporate members of Kirk board members, Kirk staff, New Vision coordinators, and myself as the executive director, I welcome all education directors, LEAs, and/or designates, education principals and vice principals and school staff from all schools. I welcome you to this conference. I hope that your time here will provide you with a good break from your usual surroundings, with something more to learn towards your educational position, and networking among your peers.
Anemos, amek, bematake, amek. You can also do like this, amek, bematake, Pijan. Okay. Oda bin amek. Amek.
Okay, perfect.
Misa chiwena. Gawi na we agana sa tank. Misa Kekeenamawkayo, you have to show them first. Okay? Yeah.
And then lightning, which is sliding your hand diagonally across their back. And then what we want to do is, after there's been this thunderstorm, then we want the thunder and the lightning to go away. and to have the rain getting lighter again until the rain stops and the sun comes out, and we draw a sun on their back.
Program share and the scratch MIT. Okay. And then you would go in and you just set up an account. You don't get much. It's free. Become confusing how to do it is let's just even go to change a color. Yeah. Like we need.
And then you just find a photo, so just add a photo, just grab the image, and then make the photo, just grab the image for now.
Can you imagine if we could say these words? Because if we can come up with a word for fax machine, telephone, car, how come we don't come up with cool words like this so kids can feel it in the language? So then he said to me, I'll do this for you, Dave. So then he came back and he said for me the word for strong. He said, zun gizewin. Then he said for ambitious, gwash kwezewin. And he says, and I said, do you say that to your kids? He goes, never. And he said, we just say they're good. But in a day and age, you need to know your other values. So if you were a good hunter, we would say you're a good hunter. If you're a good musician, we would say you're a good musician. If you were a good dancer, we would say you're a good dancer. I'm saying we need to teach the other values where you're vivacious and you're beautiful and you're amazing and you're, optimistic. When I did this with the parents, the old people cried. They said, I wish people would have told me that. And I said, so you didn't get it? Then I made them repeat it. I said, I am ambitious. I am amazing. I am good. Now I said, now go home, take your magnet, put it on the fridge. Say that to yourself every day so you get your happiness going. If I looked at the news every day, which a lot of us do as Nishnabs, if I looked in the press, if I looked in the movies, if I looked in the documentaries, you just see strife and trouble and challenge. I want to see something that makes me proud. Why doesn't CBC come on again? Why doesn't CBC come here today and say to us, look at all these people at Kirk that are smiling, showing up, having a good time. Let's put that in the news. Let's call APTN instead of having a challenge and saying, oh, someone was in the lobby, someone didn't make it. Let's shift it and say, maybe 2 had trouble last night, but 400 showed up today. School, when you get back to your community, here I go. Come on, Kathy. Good job. Next. Come on. Work it. Work it. Heads up. Miigwech. 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 Miigwech.
And we went out and we basically made 3 versions of this. So we had one that was the plain stick. We had a second one. We had a second one that had fletching on it, so we took turkey feathers and we fletched them on there, and then we put a weight on the end, and then we also had the addle-addle. And what we did is we drew a line, and we had the kids come up, and one at a time, they had to throw the stick, and first, sorry, I got it. Good thing you're wearing glasses, eh? Should have worn your friends. So we had the kids throw just the plain sticks. And then we came back and we threw the sticks with the fletching. And sure enough, the sticks with the fletching, we were able to throw way further. And then we were able to check, well, why did the ones with the fletching go further, right? And then we came back, and it's amazing if you've ever seen this. So with the, throwing the sticks on our end, we'd throw them not even the length of this classroom. Put the fletching on it, we maybe throw a little bit longer. Throw the addle-addle on, and you could throw longer than the entire hotel. You can throw a dart 300 meters with one of these things, like the length of a football field, literally. They used to use these to hunt mammoths. Take down huge animals, to hunt out in the prairies. Imagine a herd of buffalo or a herd of caribou coming, and a whole bunch of people are lined up, and you literally just launch a dozen of these into a herd, but you can be hundreds of yards away and just launch a whole bunch of spears into a herd that's moving, right? See that? Now we've got a glowing pile of dust there. Then you take the glowing dust and you put it into a pile of tinder, and now we need to learn what kind of plants actually create tinder. So if I blow on this, it'll start to glow. I'm going to put it out before we get in trouble. Tell me, Delta.
I have this philosophy that to learn science, you need to do science, and that kind of comes into the experiential learning. I remember when I was in high school, I did all our learning of science was sitting down and taking notes, and You know, that wasn't a really memorable experience for me, but the lessons I did remember were the ones when we dissected the pig or anything like that. So it's those hands-on lessons are what your students are going to remember 10 years from now. As educators, our goal should be preparing students for life, right? And so our lessons should be teaching them life skills. So not only are we teaching the science curriculum, but we're teaching them skills that they can take into their homes, they can use as their adults, teaching them how to provide for their families when they're older.
Notice the teacher turnover. Notice the personnel turnover, right? If you have 50 to 60% turnover year after year after year, why would a student ever invest in a relationship with an adult? Why? The brain has learned there's no point, because that person you're going to invest with is not going to be there for you. So that disinvestment is a learned behavior. But it's also learned behavior of the system that doesn't really culture teacher longevity. Right? So what I'm saying is there needs to be, in terms of trauma-informed school systems, one of the things we need to start to build in terms of infrastructure is stable teacher tenure and teacher longevity.
It was 22-0, and I had to sit and watch. I wasn't the coach, but I sat and watched as athletic director that our kids couldn't get the ball 8 seconds to half court. I'm not talking shooting. I watched a whole quarter of them struggling just to get it over 8 seconds here. And I think some of the kids had no idea what was happening because they didn't understand the rules. But being able to, the quicker that they understand the rules, they can go on to the next level of understanding.
Put this on, you guys. I want you to hide your earphones. I want to turn you into a professor. I like that he's willing to cooperate. Okay. Now I'm going to give you my black onyx ring that I got on sale, but it looks like $1 million. Put on your thumb. Then I'm going to give you my bracelet that I got from my friend in Egypt. Run. Then we're going to take your hat off. Okay? We're going to get you to stand over here by Patty Jones and Daniel. And we're not going to focus on the fact that it's wearing track pants. You're just going to stand like this, cut. Cross those arms. Spread those legs a little more. Buns tighter. Chest higher. Come on, right in. Cat. I want you to go like this, Cat. I want you to lean like this. I'm going to say, hi, baby. Daniel, I want you to behave like that. And take a look at that. Instantly. Instantly. Now we're going to need another model in here. We'll take this beautiful girl back here. Come on. Hurry up. She's like, 50. Hurry up. Come on, I know you want this. We'll take another girl over here. We'll take you with the bracelet. Did you hear what she said? She said, oh my God, I got it. You go over here by Daniel. I want you to be like this, just like, ooh. And we need a gookum, because gookums are allowed to be hot too. So, right there, come on, gookum. Well, we'll get one. Someone will take one of you. Come on over here. And you're going to go over here, and you're going to stand like this, and you'll be like, Switch. Switch. Come on, Google, working it back there. Switch. See how easy that was? See how easy that was? And all I had to do was drag them over, try this out, and they did it. You went, thank you.
My name is Kekeenamawkayo. I'm from Sun Lake, Ontario. I work with the Thomas Fiddler Memorial Elementary School. My job title is that I am a reading coach, so I work with a primary literacy program, what we have at the school. So I work generally with grade 1s to grade 4.
My name is Johnny Mikis. I'm originally from Sandy Lake First Nation. This year I'm a computer teacher at the elementary school where I teach.
Bonjour, my name is Joan Kekeenamawkayo. I am from Sandy Lake. I teach native language, grade 4, 5, and 6 in elementary school.
My name is Bruce Beardy. I am from, I'm a community member of Muskrat Dam. I work for Independent First Nations Alliance now out of the Thunder Bay office, and I am their Education Services Advisor.
So my name is Tyler. I'm from Satchko Lake, and I'm the grade 3 teacher.
My name is Mary Andrews. I'm from Winnipeg Lake. I'm a kindergarten teacher there.
My name is Evelyn McKay. I'm from Kekeenamawkayo, and I teach native language from grade 4 to 8.
My name's Richard Morris. I'm from Big Shot Lake.
My name's Tanya Tekovic-Nugent, and I work for NNEC in Sioux Lookout, and I'm the intake coordinator.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Oxford. I work in Woodman Lake, and I teach grade 5 and 6.
Oh, I've really seen it evolve. Honestly, the first time I came here, I remember day 2 of the conference, and I'd go to a session, there'd be hardly anyone there. And I found this time, like, there are people going to sessions, there are people at the final plenary. There, you know, everybody seems more interested, seems more into building their communities.
There has been like a lot of progress, and I think there's a little bit of progression towards more mental health and talking about that, and I think that's what people need to engage more now. So I think that's it's a nice step in the right direction, I think. I think we need to talk more about those things and about how to implement those strategies into the classroom.
Yes, I think it benefits to every First Nations people in the northern communities, and it would be sad to see it go. And I believe that it is. This is a very good conference for to get together from different communities, and it should continue on.
Oh yes, most definitely. I think it's a great idea for everybody to come together, especially from the north, and get a nice northern perspective on education and how we can become sovereign and how we can govern ourselves and actually learn from each other and build on that from there, yeah.
I really enjoy the conference this year because we get a lot of teachings from the elders and also from teachers as well, with the other language teachers. I learn a lot from them and get new ideas and how to use it back home in school.
Well, it is very crucial, very important for every one of us, especially the educators. And we need, you know, like I said, you know, even though you're a well-seasoned teacher, we still need a little push, a little knowledge here and there to keep us going, to keep our momentum going in teaching what we need to teach the students.
I think it's a great way. You should always continue your learning, and going to these conferences provide a great opportunity to just get out there, share ideas, and see what other people are doing and how other people are struggling or how other people are progressing. So it's a great way to kind of share ideas and bring back a fresh perspective and kind of recharge for your classroom again.
Because I think it's more to share ideas among the teachers and other educational staff, to share ideas and to give learning material from each other.
It is important because you know, we need to continue strengthening our culture and identity, and many of the communities and the remote communities especially have that opportunity to practice those the cultural and traditional way of life, and also use the language as a means of instruction for any of the teachings that they may do.
You learn from other people, and it always refreshes you as a teacher.
Because it brings a lot of people from many remote areas that don't really have an opportunity to get together and brainstorm and talk about things that matter most in education. We talk about the current state, we talk about the future state and where we want to go. Yeah, and it's just really nice to have the opportunity to be involved in something like this.
It actually gives us more understanding from what's happening with everyone else, because, you know, like we have our own understanding of what's happening in our school board, so it's nice to know what other perspective, what people are actually having around in Ontario, even other school boards.
I think it's important to have a good workshop or a good conference with lots of relevant workshops and stuff, and also all the communities getting together and being able to make new connections and work together as well.
I would say, over the last 41 years I've been a teacher. This is one of many conferences that I've attended, and I would say every one of them is different, and everyone is a lifelong learning experience. I know even as a well-seasoned teacher as myself, there's an opportunity to learn something new every day.
It's amazing what you can do with the proper support and the proper program for our kids. To like themselves, to understand themselves, who they are, to have a goal, a dream, to fight for it. And the parents and teachers can work together to help that child reach that dream.
The Education Conference is important, specifically to the North, because it allows people to kind of think out of the box and really see what's working in different communities, and to be able to probe and kind of look towards different ideas that need to be improved upon within education in the North. It's different from, say, going to school in Toronto or a major urban center, so having people come together and really talk about the reality of teaching in the North is imperative to improving best practices and really moving forward in a positive way.
I'm ready. I'm going to do this. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to sit back. I'll reflect. And I'll say, yeah. That's it. That's how easy it is, folks.
Like, we're not picky, like whatever.
Ooh.
If it looks like this.
That was scandalous.
Like, I don't care, whatever it is, bring it, right?
We're getting jiggy with it, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.